I think the Giants should go out there and get Shadeur Sanders, no matter who their GM is, no matter who their head coach is. I think Shadeur Sanders will be the best fit. We see him. Obviously, Malik Nabers likes him. Malik Nabers apparently likes him. 22 years old right now, Shadeur Sanders. He's had a great year with the Colorado Buffaloes, with his dad head coaching that team, the legend Deion Sanders. 3,926 passing yards, 35 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. His rushing stats aren't that great, obviously. But, I mean, this guy can throw out of the pocket. He can throw on the run. He can throw under pressure. Last year with Colorado, 2023, he had 3,230 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Kind of like Dylan Gabriel, doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. In 2022, 70.6 completion percentage, 3,732 passing yards, 40 passing touchdowns to 6 interceptions. And then his freshman year in 2021, 65.9 completion percentage, 3,231 passing yards, 30 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. So year after year after year after year for Shadeur Sanders in college, he's been one of the best college quarterbacks. And it's not like, Sam Darnold, we saw him. He had really one good year with USC, and he got drafted 3rd overall. I think Shadeur Sanders is the safest of all the quarterbacks because, one, I would say his ceiling is the highest. I mean, the kid is huge, 6'2", 215 pounds. He can move. He's got a cannon for an arm. He can throw the deep ball. Probably one of the best deep ball throwers in college football, if not the best. I mean, I would give Shadeur a shot. I would really give him a shot. And, you say one about college football offenses. Oh, it's college football. They love to throw, but at the same time, they got a little NFL system going on over there. And it comes to no surprise considering their head coach is a former NFL player who played on both sides of the ball. And again, I keep saying, you want a QB who's an athlete. Shadeur Sanders is an athlete. He's an athlete. His brother's a great college player. His dad, obviously, NFL legend, played with the Yankees in the MLB and actually put up pretty good numbers in the MLB. It wasn't like Michael Jordan. He even had better baseball numbers than Bo Jackson. Like his whole entire family is just athletic. So I would say he's not the best athlete in the draft right now. I would say Jalen Milroe is the best athlete. But Shadeur Sanders is a better passer. You can definitely say he's a better passer than Jalen Milroe. You could definitely say that. If you don't think that, you're stupid. You're stupid. But Cam Ward, similar to Shadeur Sanders, cannon for an arm, having a great year as well in Miami. He's had 4,123 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Like Shadeur Sanders, one of the best, if not the best, deep throwers in college football. In 2023, 3,735 yards, 25 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. 2022, 3,231 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. 2021, Jesus, 4,648 passing yards, 47 passing touchdowns with 10 interceptions. And in 2020, his freshman year, 24 passing touchdowns, 4 interceptions, only 2,260 passing yards. And he can move. He's a little bit bigger than Shadeur Sanders. Weight rise, 223 pounds, same height though, 6'2". I mean, it's just, again, you wanted that athlete at quarterback, and Cam Ward and Shadeur Sanders, they can throw the deep ball. Malik Nabers, he wants a guy who can throw the deep ball. Daniel Jones just couldn't throw the deep ball. He was afraid to at times. Daniel Jones you saw it. He was afraid to throw that deep ball. He was afraid to take risk. Whereas these two guys are not afraid to take risk at all. At all. So I think Cam Ward or Shadeur Sanders will definitely be on the Giants next year. No doubt about it. If they get that first overall pick, I think they roll with Shadeur Sanders. I think they do. But then again, they got to do a lot more than just draft a quarterback. Whereas the Jets, they can draft a quarterback and still bring back Aaron Rodgers and, shoot for the stars one more time. The Giants are in complete rebuild mode. So you really don't care what their win-loss record next year is. What your hope is, if you're a Giant fan, is to get a little bit more offensive line depth to protect that rookie quarterback. And either Cam Ward or Shadeur Sanders just improves each game. And you hope Malik Nabers, turns into a top 3 wide receiver because I think he has that potential. And I'm very high on Garrett Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson is a top, I'd say 10 wide receiver in the National Football League. Whereas Malik Nabers, he's already top 10 right off the bat. maybe even top 5 talent-wise. Probably, I would say talent-wise, he's top 3. The only 2 that I think come to mind better talent-wise, and maybe even not, but just saying something. It's a very hot take, but Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. I mean, Malik Nabers is up there talent-wise. And, I've been getting on him a lot this season. His post-game press conferences definitely aren't the best in the beginning of the year. But as each game went by, it seems like he's learning more and more, like, just to deal with it. Obviously, he wants the ball. He wants to win. And it's definitely frustrating for a guy who won a lot at LSU. But at the same time, he's taking it good, especially now over these past few weeks. He just wants to see this team win. He obviously wants the ball in his hand, but he wants the ball in his hand because he can help his team win. We saw him play through an injury just a few weeks ago, and he said it after the game. Listen, you never play healthy in the NFL. You never play healthy at any level of football. You're going to be beat up. But if I can go out there and my body feels good, I want to go out there and I want to help my team win. Not a direct quote, but it's basically what he said. So I like Malik Nabers. I think he's got a lot of talent. You get him a Shadeur Sanders, or you get him Cam Ward. I think you could roll the dice and get a lot out of Malik Nabers. You definitely need more defense. Go out there, maybe get another edge rusher. I mean, Brian Burns is great, but Kayvon Thibodeau, I mean, he's got to prove a little bit more to me. Dexter Lawrence, obviously, he's one of the best defensive linemen in football. Azeez Ojulari, he's got a lot of injury history. Talent-wise, he's great, but injury-prone for sure. I like Bobby Okereke, but he's only getting older. Micah McFadden also he's got a pretty high upside. Not sky-high upside, but he's pretty good. And then hopefully, whoever they bring in, hopefully they hire the right defensive coordinator that can get Deonte Banks to where people thought he could be. Because Deonte Banks has talent. He does. He hasn't played great through his first 2 years so far, but he does have talent. But let's see what the Giants do. I think if they did bring back, like this is again on Joe Shane, even with Daniel Jones, you bring back Julian Love, you bring back Xavier McKinney, you get some defensive depth out there, you get a good O-line, and not draft Evan Neal, and you actually build the right offensive line. I think the Giants could have made the playoffs this year. I really do think they could have. But as it looks right now, if Schultz is right, Joe Shane will be back, but Brian Daboll won't. And that's what would scare me if I was a Giants fan. That's what would really scare me. I mean, you can hire a GM and say, let's see what we can get out of Brian Daboll. You can let go of both. Both those avenues definitely make sense. I'd be opposed to kind of letting go of Brian Daboll, considering, like I said before, head coaching carousel since Tom Coughlin. You go through Pat Shurmur, Ben McAdoo, Joe Judge. You really think Brian Daboll is one of those 3 guys? No, you don't. You just don't.